Hi, do you see me? Do you hear me? Hello, let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Alexa, volume 3. Просто на страничку зайди, пожалуйста, ну там инструкция есть, там есть линк. Alexa, stop. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. And we're going to be starting in 5 minutes. Hi, everyone. I see that people are slowly coming. Okay, awesome. Please text that you can hear me clearly, and we're going to be starting soon. Hi, I'm seeing your comments here. I see people are joining, and we're going to be starting soon. Hi, Venera. Very nice to see you here. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Okay, so I am starting. Thank you so much, that you are here, and I'm so glad to welcome you all here. I'm Zara Rakere with Zara Homes at Westbrook Realty, and I really want to tell you that you are all the amazing personalities, amazing type of personalities, because you decided that you want to know more than everyone else and be prepared with the thing to know and do. So I'm gonna change my screen interaction here. Um, so many people have no idea what it takes to buy a home, and they don't even realize that they are actually in a position to purchase. So please don't make this mistake that so many people do. And they have done in the past, and they wait because they did not take time to find out. I mean, let's face it, we don't know the things that we don't know, right? If you had a long journey to come to this, or you had long, if you didn't have a long working experience, or you migrated not too long many years ago, or you had bankruptcy, you may also be able to purchase, and you just don't realize it. And I also know that everyone knows a realtor, but take a caution. Lack of experience and knowledge can not only lead to problems and stress on your behalf, but it can also cost you money. So thank you so much for coming today to spend an hour with me, and let me guide you through the benefits of home ownership sooner than later. I'm gonna little bit talk about myself here. So, and before that, let me tell you that I'm not a lawyer, lender, or a tax specialist. So, for any specific questions, please contact a specialist. Um, so, my background is in law, in international relationships, and I worked in all those fields. And I did software engineering when I moved to United States. But my dream was always doing real estate, and I believe that my experience is what makes me a little different from everyone in the industry. I really do love reading contracts and being very, detailed in the small things. So my expertise is serving people and doing best for my clients. I never stop educating myself to be different according to time we live in, learn marketing, and do things effectively. I will make sure that I will solve everything that I can. That is my responsibility, whether it's going to be protecting my company as a lawyer or protecting my clients. It's all about finding win win solutions so that everybody succeeds. Um, so please send your questions in chat. I will answer to your questions when we get to the end of the presentation. You won't need to take notes because the recording is gonna be on Facebook Live. You can rewatch it, you can share it. I am sure gonna make sure that I'll load everything to YouTube so then you can share with your friends. Make sure that you send me your email address to zuhra at wbrea.com, and at the end of the seminar, you'll get all my information. So let's get into home buying process during pandemic times. So pandemic slowed down the Bay Area's market, that's no doubt. Home buying is essential business. So buyers and sellers are still interested, but they are trying to understand how to deal with properties and the transaction itself. Mortgage rates are historically low right now. They've never been as low as this. For people who are in need of home and having financial resources, this is a good time to move with the purchase. The next big question that everybody is asking is that will a COVID-19 induced recession make it easier to buy a house? It's a very hard question. I wish I had a crystal ball because there is so many things that we don't know yet. But Zillow looked at the housing market during previous pandemics and concluded that while the volume of housing transactions dropped dramatically, but the prices fell only a little. And the word recession can feel so scary to people who are not economists, especially the homeowners with the big asset to protect. And that is so understandable given that we associate the recession with what happened in 2008. And even that took the economy years to recover. But knowledge is power. And what I'm going to empower you by digging into what exactly a recession is and the signs that one might be in the horizon. If you're nervous that a recession can be looming, here are some things that you can think about it. So, what is a recession? An economic recession is a part of normal cycle of growth and contraction. The recession is when the economy is shrinking instead of growing or plateauing. For a country to be in economic recession, the GDP, gross domestic product, must fall 2 quarters in a row. The recession does not end until GDP, gross domestic product, begins to rise rather than fall. The most important thing that we need to know is that housing market isn't actually uh, experiencing recessions that much, but it can sometimes crash as a result of an economic recession or show indication that a recession is coming. So during two recession in 2001 and in 1990, home prices actually increased. Home prices are less responsive to recessions because housing is an absolute necessity, and buyers are coming from situation where they are not affected by the recession. So here in this graphic, you can see how the last 6 recessions influenced the housing market. So now let's get into some numbers for March 2020 updates. It's when we actually came into the shelter in place. So San Francisco median price was almost 1.5 million with 3 point over 3% year-on-year appreciation. And days on market is 35. These 35 days is actually a good number. Oakland median price $775,000 with 1% year-on-year appreciation. Days on market 14. It's so competitive market that still the houses are going with 8-10 offers per property on the average. San Jose, median price is almost 1,105 with the over 7% year-on-year appreciation with the days on market 8. Pleasanton, median price over 1 million with 8% year-on-year appreciation, days on market 7, and Pleasanton has been experiencing some slight dip. Fremont, median price 1 million with over 10% year-on-year appreciation, days on market 9. So now let's see Santa Clara County new homes on market for the whole March from the first one to 31st one. Total homes on the market was 1,200. Prices reduced for 167. Sold homes 950. For the month of April from 1st to 30th, the homes on market were 782, and these are the numbers for the whole Santa Clara County. And the sold homes were 782. So now let's compare those numbers of homes on the market with the year 2019. So it was over 1,800 houses on the market and sold over 1,000. So we can really see that we have so much less inventory because it's scaring people. So now if we see the city market report for San Jose, we can see that for the month of April, let me see that, let me know if you can see the numbers here. So the median sale price showed 7% decrease, but please pay attention that all those numbers are local. So this is for San Jose. So 7% decrease for March. Days on market, same as it was in March. So this is comparison of March, April to March. So days on market, 8 days. And on average, sellers in San Jose received over 100% of asking price in April compared to 106% in March. So it was only 2% difference in 2 months. but it's still over the asking price. So now let's see our second very popular city in the area, Santa Clara. So we can see that it was 46 closed sales. The median sales price was almost 1.5 million. Days on the market, 7, and over 106% list price. So people are still offering more. So median sales price showed 1% decrease from March. So what does it tell you? What do you think about it? Do you think that, we've been 2 months in the pandemic, the prices are still showing that the properties are going over the asking price? This is something to think about. It's not as scary as we think. Real estate has been deemed essential service, so you are able to buy and sell. But new guidelines from California Association of Realtors allow buyers to see property with the permission from a seller with social distancing guidelines. Car advisors showings done only virtually if possible, and all activities could be completed electronically if possible. Only one single agent and no more than 2 people are allowed to be in the property during a showtime. Any person entering a property shall provide a declaration that to the best of their knowledge, they are not currently ill with the cold or a flu. All persons visiting property will agree that they shall wash their hands with soap, water, or using hand sanitizer prior to entry, to wear disposable rubber gloves and protective face masks. Another very good news is that starting from May 4th, from this week, we are able to see not only vacant properties, but we are also able to see occupied properties. So the restrictions are taken away, and it becomes easier and easier. And it means that more houses on the market right now, even the occupied homes, are able to be checked. Now you are certain to buy, and you decide for yourself if renting or owning is better for you. In the next slide, I am showing a house for $800,000 with average appreciation of 5%. You earn $3,300 per month, or $40,000 per year. If you saw in the previous slide, the 5% appreciation is very average. Some areas are having appreciation of 10 and 11%. So depending on the place, you're gonna earn even more. You're gonna earn appreciation, you're gonna have some tax savings. So with the $800,000 house, your monthly payment would be on average $4,300. So which means that for $800,000 property with 5% appreciation in 5 years, your property is gonna become over $1 million, or you're gonna make $221,000 in profit. So now compare, if you are renting, how much money you are spending. The thing to understand here is, no matter you own or rent, you're always paying someone's mortgage, but it's only your choice. Is it going to be your mortgage and you're going to gain equity and put $221,000 in your pocket, or you're going to put it in someone else's pocket? What life circumstances are you in right now? You are thinking about buying. What are you going through? Is it some family change? Is it relocation? Is it a divorce? Is that your first home? Is that your dream that you wanted to move to the country, or you relocated? Or is it time to settle in and to buy your dream house? The buying real estate is never a short-term investment. You need to keep it from 7 to 10 years in order to earn on it. So right now, house is not only a place to come home. It's also an investment. And can you afford to buy a house right now? How stable is in your how stable is your income? What are your reserves and credit score? Can you actually afford to buy? Those are some things for you to think. And right now, yes, there are some restrictions with the good rates, and there are lots of consumers right now who are doing refinancing of their properties because this is the time. It's a sin not to refinance right now. As long as banks are taking risks, they also apply some restrictions. And if you have a pre-approval as old as 30 days, I would highly recommend you to talk to your lender and to see if your pre-approval has changed. If you are hotly looking on the market, I would tell you again, please contact your lender once a week to stay on the track with your timelines. And if you're writing offer now, please make sure that lenders can deliver on those conditions. So how are we doing here? Let me know if you can hear me. And how are you finding the information so far? Um, so you definitely need to get the pre-approval, um, especially during the pandemic time. So there is a trend going on right now that houses are not going to be shown to people without pre-approval. So why is it important? Pre-approval is a sign of your readiness and provides buying leverage if you find a home that you want and there are other buyers. Pre-approval loan must amplify your buying power and simplify your home search. You will understand your monthly payments that will ensure your comfort level. And we all love our numbers, right? Who likes surprises like when there is not enough money left for comfortable living? So let me give you an example. What can happen? A couple went to see a home. They really loved the property. The property had several offers in hand already, so they needed to move fast. And the lovely couple did not have pre-approval, but they really wanted the house, which means that they cannot make an offer. They lose this chance to get this house. There are some things that you need to avoid, or there are some things which are tips that you need to follow once being pre-approved. So once you are pre-approved, you definitely need to avoid changing your job. Um, don't buy anything major. Don't make late payments. Don't buy furniture before buying a house. Avoid originating new inquiries on your credit reports. Don't make large deposits on your account. Don't change bank accounts. And do not co-sign for anyone. When doing mortgage inquiries, do it with 2, 3 lenders at the same time. So the hit on your credit card comes once as a mortgage inquiry. And that way your credit report will recover so much faster. And start the process of pre-approval as soon as possible, especially at this kind of environment, knowing that lenders are so flooded with work right now and things might take slower than usual. So if in the usual environment it might take 24 hours, now it may take up to 72 hours to get your pre-approval. Before buying a home, have a talk with your family, with yourself, and answer what is important for you in your home search. Is it going to be your location? Is it going to be a size of a home? Are you interested in the fixer-upper, or do you want a new construction? Is it going to be good schools and appreciation, or you want the amenities? Or maybe you want a land to grow your chickens. I had this man looking for a house and he wanted a land, a backyard to grow his chicken in the properties. So he found a house he liked. He wanted to make an offer, but depending on the city, regulations also change. So in some of there is a limit of chicken numbers you can have. and certain proximity of neighbors, which is allowed. And I am sharing this with you because you want a knowledgeable agent to know the small things which matter to people. You know, somebody was looking at the high things because he was so tall and it wouldn't be convenient for him to brush his teeth in the morning, and not be, holding his back straight. Those are so very important questions that you need to know answers before you buy. After, you need to decide what is your need and what is your want. Let me know how are you doing by sending some likes to me, and I really, really, really love some hearts. So now we are getting on the more serious topics on the home loans here. So with COVID-19 situation, the banks have more strict regulations on how loans are given. FHA loans are given less, but they are still given. I work with the lenders. They still work with the first-time home buyers. Let me know if that will be interesting for you, but not every lender is working with those programs. Most people are opting for conventional loan and jumbo loans. And if you're planning on a jumbo loan, you need to talk to your lender if they are still able to provide jumbo loans. So jumbo loans is anything greater than 762,500. Secondary market brokerages and non-direct lender have stopped during doing jumbo loans. Majority of jumbo loans are provided by direct lender such as Wells Fargo, Bank of America, local credit unions, and so on. The other question to ask is, when can we close? What is the timeline? Is it normal 30 days right now, or is it longer days like 45? Your agent is definitely the one who needs to get familiar with those timelines. And me is your agent when crafting your offer. I will definitely have a conversation with the seller about their flexibility in today's market. And families can have different circumstances. Sometimes some people need really to move out in a short time. Things to be considered is your down payment, which is in a good side at least 20%. Closing costs, we usually keep it around 1% to 1.5% of your purchase price. Cash reserves, it can be 6 months to a year worth of your monthly expenses outside of your down payment and closing costs. Um, how do we search homes? Search homes by visiting virtual open houses. They are available right now. Start favoriting homes that suit your needs. Get familiar with the neighborhood, with the sold house prices in that neighborhood. And me, as your agent, if you decide to go with me, will keep discussing your needs list and the possibility of going and seeing property. Um, there will be some properties which might be occupied and the owner might not agree to show it, but since May 4th, those restrictions are taken away, and now we can write offers to the occupied homes and to the vacant homes as well. And also, I will always be very careful and I will write offers knowing how to protect you. So if you need to back out, you back out without losses. And there is certain ways to do that. Again, I am only reminding that it's only one single agent and no more than two other people are allowed to come into the property during a showing. Vacant and occupied homes can be physically shown. Writing a competitive offer. So what is a competitive offer? It is the offer that is going to stand out among the others. I am still here from the first day and the front lines, writing offers, showing homes, going to tours. I know the market trends and comparables to know the numbers that we offer. I always do my job with my customers and doing comparable analysis so we know how much to offer. We cannot do a lowball offer and lose a house, but we also don't want to be overpaying for the properties. So it is so important to check every single day. That's what I do every single morning. I go on the MLS. It's a platform for people who are in real estate business to check the market. Um, Price matters a lot. We need to know how much to offer. Way of communication also matters. Writing a cover letter about you, that's what matters. My unique thing that we're gonna record a video which is gonna stand out among because nobody else does it. Clear offer structure matters. I support my offer with summary. It also matters. So there are so many things all together make your crafted offer shine among all your competitors. That's why when I make offers, usually our offer gets accepted among the competitors. Also, your agent should also have available forms from California Association of Realtors to protect buyers and sellers. And your agent should really know what it says and what are the risks and how are the ways to protect you. So now your offer is accepted and the conversation is going the different direction. So what are the things that we do next? And we start to negotiate. There are lots of nuances about negotiations, and we will definitely talk about them on the private consultation that I'm gonna sit with you, and we're gonna have 1 hour talk about everything what is important for you in your transaction. What is gonna be the timelines? How many days every step is gonna take? What should be ready for? What things to avoid? It's a completely separate conversation with only you. So now we're gonna, after your offer is accepted, everything is happy, and we are depositing earnest money, and we open the escrow. The earnest money is usually 3% of the purchase price. Now we open the escrow, and the seller wants to see your serious intention by seeing that you put money but opening an escrow, and it shows that you are very serious. It's same like a marriage proposal. Proposing party gives a ring to show his or her serious intentions. So what is earnest money? It is a promise to buy a house to the best of your ability. And it says in the third party, in escrow, and it sits there. It will be applied towards your down payment or towards your closing costs at the end of the transaction. So generally, as I said before, in California, earnest money deposit is 3% of the purchase price. So who is the title company and what is the role of a title company? Usually escrow and title company are the same level vendors. When escrow holds your money and allocates finances to the right properties, when the time comes, title company is the one who will review your ownership history. He's gonna look at taxes. He's gonna look the titles. He's gonna look the encroachments, the easements. He's gonna make sure that your property you're buying and free and clear of any liens. So what does it mean, the liens? It means that if somebody ever came and fixed the house, and the house owner did not pay his fees, and he goes to court and he puts a lien on this house, it means that until this lien is clear, the owner is not going to be able to sell the house. These things matter. So here is the title company who is going to search for all these liens. The title company is going to check for usage of the issues and so much more. And it gives the assurance through title policy. and you're going to be purchasing the title policy through your closing costs. Those two events go in the parallel. What are some contingencies that are going to be listed in your contract? When we are crafting your beautiful and clean offer, I want to protect you as a buyer. And if there is a reason to put a contingency, it's definitely gonna be there. Um, an appraisal contingency protects the buyer, and it is used to ensure that property is valued at a minimum specified amount. It protects bank risks in lending the loan to you. So let's say that your property is $1 million and it appraises for $1.1 million. It means that the appraiser says you're buying it for million, but it actually costs 1 million. You can pay 100,000 K out of your pocket because it's going to be a separate payment. Or with the appraisal contingency, you can back out without losing your earnest deposit. Appraisal contingency works simultaneously with inspection contingency and loan contingency. It can be waived if you have more than 20% down payment. A financing contingency, or in other words, a loan contingency, gives the buyer time to obtain financing of the purchase of the property. So let's say if something happens to your loan, you lose a job, anything can happen. You can back out without losses. It can be waived if you have the underwritten loan. An inspection contingency gives the buyer the right to have the home inspected within a specified period of time. So this specified period of time, it can be 7 days, 14 days, means that if you find some issues while inspecting that you don't agree, let's say something is wrong with the roof or something is wrong with the foundation, you are protected and you can back out and do not lose your earnest money. The inspection contingency can be waived if inspections are provided by the seller. Usually they are provided by the seller. But there are some, there are some situations when you want to do the inspection which was not done by the seller. As issue resolve, contingencies get lifted. But I have to honestly tell you, Bay Area is still a seller's market and it is still competitive. By competitive, I mean that if before for one house it was 15 offers, now you can get a house within 7 offers. It's twice or 3 times less competition right now, but there is still a competition. So when offers get shorter contingencies or the offers go with no contingencies, it's gonna work best for you. And the very, very important thing here is to push all those steps on time. And I have my system in place to follow and my guidelines in place to follow to not put the transaction into a risk. And I always work very, very closely with the buyers and the sellers and the vendors to be on top of everything to secure my buyers. How are we doing here? Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, Apostles. Okay, I'm so, so glad to see you here. Another 2 type of contingency which are not so popular is condition at delivery. I've never seen it in my career, but let's say you purchase a house and then they didn't remove the junk. And that's the condition at delivery because everything has to be clean and clear. It can be also put in the contract condition. Community restrictions, if you are purchasing a condo or a townhome and it has HOA and it has some conditions that you are not agreeing to. You can also step out from the contract without your losses. So, as you understood, the contingencies is something that it saves you. You can step out of contract without any losses. With the right agent, you can do the right things. So, buyer's fees. So, let's now stop and see how much is it? How much do we pay for the inspections and what are the fees here in Santa Clara County? All the fees vary county to county. On average in Santa Clara County, home inspection costs $400 to $600. Termite pest inspection costs $150 to $250. Roof inspection $150 to $250. Chimney fireplace inspection $180 to $200. Pool inspection $200 to $300. Foundation $600 and more. And please remember that most of these inspections are usually done by the sellers in advance. Sometimes you want to do your own inspection. In case if the seller does not provide inspections, you might want to still do those kind of inspection. Appraisal cost upfront is usually $500 to $800. Signing at closing company and paying your closing costs. So you are paying for title insurance, for appraisal fee, a portion of your property taxes, your insurance premium, and your other inspections expenses. You are paying down payment right before the signing. Your money get transferred to the seller once the seller, and then you wait. We wait for some time until everybody get their money. They call, they say we are closed, and I am getting the key. And that is the day when you get your own house keys. So this is all the information that you need to know right now at the very beginning of your journey. And if you feel that this is the right time for you and you have your financial resources and your knowledge, you should act. You really need to change your life to better, especially right now during pandemic. Now we understand how important it is to have your own home, to have your comfortable living. So buy your first house or your new house. You have seriously more opportunities right now. The competition is not that tight because people are sitting back, even the ones who wanted to use this situation. But you can use this situation in your own benefit. Act for yourself. I can become a good resource for you because I know how to do this and I love my job and I really love helping you. And make sure that you have my contact information. Please, if you don't want to be asking your questions here, or you want to get in a private conversation, or you want a private consultation, or you want ask something big, please never hesitate. Follow me at Homes by Zara at Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I put a lot of educational videos because for me, it has to be a very well balanced, calculated decision of you. And I never sell just for sell. The first question is going to be, is that the right time for you right now? And if you want to buy right now, what is the reason behind it that is pushing you to make a purchase right now? You can see my phone number. Please check my website at zarahomes.com. Email your questions to me. Text me anytime. I honestly work 24 hours a day, including weekends. Um, Please, I'm going to be sharing this video on my Facebook page. I'm going to load it to the YouTube so you can share it. And please, um, I do a lot of digital media, and if you like this seminar, I would ask you to do me a favor and go to my Facebook page or Google Business, Zara Homes, and leave me a review there, or just give me a couple of 5 stars, and I would really, really be happy. It's gonna help me. Tell about this seminar to your friends. Let them come and learn something else with me. So now we have 16 more minutes left, and I want to be very, very respectful of your time. You can ask me all the questions here in the chat, and I will be answering your questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, I'm getting some hearts here. Thank you so much. Okay, so here in the host chat, I got a question which says, what do I need to do in order to get pre-approved? I don't have a long working history. Thank you so much for your question. And that you have to understand one thing, the lenders are very flexible. Lender to lender, you're going to have different programs, different rates, and different entrance rate. So yes, you can still get pre-approved even when you have a 1 year of work experience, but it never stopped and you are working in the same field. You can even change a job if you need to, as long as you are staying in the same field and your wage is being on the same rate or higher. If you have a lender, you call your lender and talk to him about your entry rates, and he's gonna calculate your assets, your income, your credit score, your salary, and he's definitely going to tell you what he needs to do. If you don't have your lenders, I can suggest 3 of the lenders that I work with, which are good lenders that I can recommend you. Do we have more questions? And I have to tell you that this week I had young couple who moved to country not so long ago, and they got pre-approved with my lender, and she actually did not have a very long job history, and her husband is so she is the one qualifying. And what happened is that the lender approved them for the first time for the with the FHA program, which is the first time home buyers program with the very good rates. So they are on the search right now. So everything works. Even now, everything works. It's just a fear that, the fear is always bigger than it is usually. Guys, I'm giving this a minute, and if you do not have more questions, I will be wrapping this up. What do you think? Okay, answer me. How did you find this? Did you find this information valuable? So I'm seeing some new faces here. Vinera Gumerova, very nice to see you here. Ella, very nice to see you. Alessia, very nice to see you. Apostolos, it's great to see you so many years. Ella, hi. It's great to see you here. Navita, hi Navita. Ali, Rustam. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your input. Thank you for sharing your likes and hearts. I am always here to help you with any questions and comments you're gonna have. Don't forget to email me with your private questions and stay in touch. Have a very beautiful rest of your evening. Bye bye.